the next content of that chapter, the fourth one, that is chemical bonding. Please, all of you keep it in mute. All of you mute.
A new chapter, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. So, the next content is chemical bonding. As you know, we have already discussed in atomic structure that when an atom is unstable, when the atom will be unstable, when the octet is incomplete, right? So when there is incomplete octet, atoms will be unstable. Okay, Ayman, keep your phone aside. Okay, so atoms, in order to attain the stability, they will either, if they are having excess electrons, they will lose the electrons, and if they are having less electrons than octet, they will tend to gain electrons. It is nothing but chemical activity. That is what we have discussed, right? So today we will discuss what is the chemical activity between the atoms, okay, which is called as chemical bonding. So in this chapter, you learn how atoms combine. The first one is what is chemical bond, okay, and how many types of chemical bonds are there. So first, we all know that chemical bond is mainly, the reason is to achieve stable electronic configuration. So the atom tends to be stable. It tries to attain that stability either by losing electrons or gaining electrons or by sharing the electrons. So when it combines with other atom, so first thing you have to remember, all of you, why an atom combines with other atoms. We all know the simple compound, the table salt, NaCl, sodium chloride. Why do sodium combine with chlorine to form a molecule called as sodium chloride? The reason behind that is both sodium and chlorine as individual atoms, they are unstable because they don't have complete octet. So when they combine, as we have discussed in the last class, sodium ion, Na plus ion is stable than sodium atom, whereas Cl minus ion is stable than chlorine atom, right? So these two ions, they combine. The excess electron of sodium will be transferred to chlorine. So when two unstable atoms combine, there will be a force of attraction or the linkage between the two atoms which holds them together. Okay, that bond, the force of attraction is called as chemical bonding. So what is chemical bond? The force of attraction between two atoms which holds them together as a stable molecule is called as chemical bond. Now, what, Abhigyan? Okay. Next, what is the reason to form the bond? It is nothing but the reason for the chemical activity in order to achieve the stable electronic configuration. Clear? Now, how many types of bonds are there? That means, how does atoms combine in order to attain the stability? I hope you all are able to understand, right? Now, the different types of bonds are, as you know, ionic bond, covalent bond, and coordinate covalent bond. This coordinate covalent. Yes, Taushit.
Ma'am, could you show the last page for 1 minute, ma'am?
Yes. So what is chemical bond we have discussed, and we have also discussed what is the reason why atoms are combining, why the atoms are involving in chemical bond. Okay. As instructed, I want all of you to on your video modes. On your videos, all of you. I believe you got an
connectivity.
Ma'am,
Ma'am, due to connectivity problem. I cannot turn my video on.
Yes, ma'am. Same. I'm out of town and
Same here. I have a problem with my camera right now.
Okay. Okay, so we have discussed what is the definition of chemical bond, and we have also discussed why atoms are forming the bond, why they are combining with others, with other atoms. The reason is in order to achieve stable electronic configuration. Now there are three types of bonds: ionic bond, covalent bond, and coordinate covalent bond. This coordinate covalent bond you learn in your 10th standard. For you at present you have these two types of bond, but it's better to know this one also. So first, coming to ionic bond, the name itself, it is explaining that bond between two ions. Okay, we all know which type of ions will attract each other. Does the like charges or unlike charges? Unlike charges attract each other, right? So
Unlike
one
charges.
positively charged ion combines with a negatively charged ion. The bond which is formed, or the force of attraction which holds a positively charged ion and the negatively charged ion together as a stable molecule, is called as ionic bond. So how is this ionic bond formed? We have just discussed that it is the bond between two oppositely charged ions. How is it formed? It is formed by transfer of electrons. This we'll discuss clearly. And second type of bond is covalent bond. Okay, so in this chapter you will learn ionic bond. How is the ionic bond formed? What are the conditions for a strong ionic bond? And how is covalent bond formed, and how we have to represent the formation of covalent bond. Is it clear? So we'll go through each and every bond separately. First, coming to ionic bond. So as I told you, it is the force of attraction which holds two oppositely charged ions together. So when two oppositely charged ions combine together, what is that force of attraction? It is specific that it is an electrostatic force of attraction. What is meant by electrostatic force of attraction? Can anyone explain? What is electrostatic force of attraction?
Ma'am, an attraction created due to the static level.
Yes, Abhigyan. What is electrostatic force?
Ma'am, this is a charge created by two unlike charges poles. The charge present between nucleus and the electrons.
Okay, what is meant by electrostatic force? Yes,
Ma'am,
Leo?
which
Yes,
And the
Rohan.
force
Yeah.
existing between the electrons.
Okay. Yes, Rohan.
ma'am, the force which results in static electricity.
Yes, which is influenced by electric current. Okay, that means we should not say electric current, we have to use electric field. Okay, so the force which is influenced under strong electric field is called as electrostatic force. As you told, the static electric field. So the force of attraction which holds two oppositely charged ions together is called as ionic bond. So it is also called as electrovalent bond. Now, the reason why it is called as electrovalent, because the valence electrons are involved. Okay, either the electrons are added to the valence shell or electrons are removed from the valence shell, resulting in the formation of ions. Therefore, it is also called as electrovalent bond. And generally this ionic bond, as we have discussed in the previous chapter, it is formed between the atom which can lose electron and an atom which can gain electron. Okay. The atom which loses electron is called as metal, and generally the non-metals tend to gain electrons. So always you have to remember, if they give you a question and if they ask you what type of bond is formed, then we have to explain that it is ionic bond. The bond formed between a metal and non-metal is always an ionic bond. No covalent bond forms between a metal and a non-metal. Clear? Okay. So we know that electrons are metals lose electrons. Daddy's. I'm sorry. Huh? Okay. Metals tend to lose electrons. So non-metals tend to gain electrons. I'm repeating these words again and again because it's very important. You have to by heart those. So metals, so as electrons, okay, as electrons tend to lose electrons, we can say that electrons are transferred from metals to non-metal. Okay. Now, see the conditions for the formation of ionic bonding. So the definition is important for you. What is ionic bond? And you have to write in ionic bond, the electrons are transferred from metal to a non-metal. So can we combine all these points and give us the specific sentence that ionic bond is an electrostatic force of attraction which holds two oppositely charged ions together formed between metals and a non-metal. Clear? Okay. Now, what are the conditions? These conditions you learn in periodic table. It is not important for you. But metals should have less ionization energy. Understand this sentence, ionization energy. That means we have to remove an electron, right? If metal has to lose electron, always remember, and the energy has to be applied. The energy has to be supplied to remove the electron. If you want to remove electron, energy has to be given. Okay. So if we can easily remove electron, do you agree that less amount of energy is required to remove the electron? Are you all able to get my point?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Right? So less
Yes, ma'am.
ionization energy means metal should easily be ionized. That means it should easily be, it should be in a position to easily remove the electrons. That is called as less ionization energy. And non-metal should have more electron affinity. What is meant by electron affinity? The name itself, it is telling it is the affinity towards electron. The tendency to gain electron. Affinity means attraction. If the atom, if the non-metal is having more attraction towards the electron, can you say that it can easily accept electron? If it easily accepts electron, a strong bond will be formed. So less ionization energy means a metal should be, it should be in a position to easily remove electrons, and non-metal should be in a position to attract. It should have more affinity towards the electron. Did you understand these two terms? Less ionization energy and more electron affinity. Yes, is there anyone who did not understand this concept? Yes, girls, did you all got
Ma'am,
this?
I did not. Ma'am, I did not understand the non-metals should have more electron affinity.
Yes, non-metal should
Because
have
it
more.
said that. Okay, I understood.
Non-metals non-metals has to accept electrons, right? That means it should have more affinity towards electron to accept it.
Okay. Okay,
And
ma'am.
metal should be in a position to easily ionize. That means easily they has to remove the electron. Easily they has to lose the electron.
Okay,
You
ma'am.
got this?
Yes.
Did you all get this point? What, Neo?
Yes, ma'am.
You got it? Okay. Now, as you all know that if I say how is NaCl formed, I think you can easily write, as we have discussed in first chapter, Na and Cl, you will write their valencies and crisscross method, you will say it is NaCl, right? Now in this chapter, we have to represent the ionic bond formation through electron dot structures. I repeat, you have to represent the formation of ionic bond through electron dot structures. What nice, huh? What is this? Amay, Taushit, Priyadarshini.
Ma'am, Amma is writing nice.
Amay, what is nice? Where is Amay? Yes, Amay. What is that? What is nice?
Yes, ma'am. Sorry, ma'am. I accidentally messaged it to everyone.
What is that?
Ma'am, he was talking to someone.
Ma'am, I accidentally messaged it to everyone.
Please pay attention. Huh?
Ma'am, Amma said nice to me privately, ma'am. So, ma'am, I asked him what nice.
Listen to the class. Okay. So listen, all of you. We have to mention we have to represent the formation of ionic bond. So till now you all know to write the formation of NaCl easily just by writing the valencies and crisscross method. In this chapter, you have to write the ionic bond. You have to show the representation of ionic bond through electron dot structures. Okay. Now we will see how to write the ionic bond. For example, magnesium chloride. Okay. We all know that MgCl2 is the formula of magnesium chloride. Right? So if I ask you how is MgCl2 form, how you will write? You will say magnesium, below it valency is 2 and chlorine valency is 1. So crisscross you will get MgCl2, right? But here you have to show that there is an ionic bond formation between magnesium and chlorine. We know that magnesium is a metal. See, you can see on the screen, there are in the valence shell, there are 2 electrons excess than octet. You can see the electronic configuration. 2 electrons excess than octet. Now, each chlorine, we know electronic configuration is 287. So, each chlorine tend to accept 1 electron, right? So, one chlorine will accept 1 electron and another chlorine will accept 1 more electron. So how many electrons are removed from magnesium? 2 electrons are removed. So magnesium will get +2 charge. Now see the valence shell of magnesium. Are there 8 electrons in the valence shell after losing 2 electrons?
Yes, ma'am.
Now Mg2+ became stable here. Now each chlorine, see here, here it is represented as 2 chlorines. Each chlorine atom has accepted 1 electron. So in the valence shell of chlorine, the 8 electron stability has occurred, right? So each chlorine, what will be the charge? If 1 electron is excess, the charge will be -1, right? So 2 chlorines, each will be -1 and -1, it will be neutralized by +2. So we'll get MgCl2. You have to show like this. Please note down this, all of you. Formation of...
Ma'am, do we have to show like this, ma'am?
Yes, in the exam you have to write. From now they don't ask you to write the formula of NaCl, MgCl2. You should not write with crisscross method. So write down formation of ionic bond or representation of ionic bond formation. Write down, all of you. Representation of ionic bond formation by electron dot structures. Representation of ionic bond formation by electron dot structures.
Ma'am, can you take to the previous slide for a minute, please?
Representation of ionic bond by electron dot structures. Okay, so take it down. Example MgCl2.
Done, ma'am.
So write down for your understanding electron dot structures of atoms. Write down electron dot structures of atoms should be written Electron dot structures of atoms should be
What
written.
electron?
Electron dot structures of the atoms should be written. Second line. The transfer of valence electrons should be shown. The transfer of valence electrons should be shown. Third one. Formation of ions should be represented. Formation of ions should be represented. Okay. At the end, you can write just the compound, formula of the compound. At last, you should write the formula of the compound. Fourth step will be formula of the compound to be written. First step, electron dot structures of atoms should be written. Second step, the transfer of electrons should be shown. Third one, the formation of ions should be represented. And fourth one, the formula of compound should be written. Got it? Did you all take down the example of MgCl2?
Ma'am, could you repeat the fourth one?
Fourth one, the formula of the compound to be written. The formula of the compound to be written. Okay. Did you all take down the example of Did you all take down the example of MgCl2?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Now all of you draw for NaCl, electron dot structures. Put the heading electron dot structures of NaCl.
Ma'am, do we have to rejoin after this?
What's the time now?
1:56, ma'am.
I'll let you know. Before we complete this, no need to join, or else we'll join again. So write for NaCl, electron dot structures of NaCl. Not by crisscross method. It is written that electron dot structures. I want all of you to on your video modes, please. On your videos.
Due to connectivity issues, I cannot on my video.
Ma'am,
Okay.
camera issue.
Same here.
Ma'am, my camera has a problem
Okay, Girija.
today.
Others on your
Ma'am,
videos.
same with me, ma'am.
Ma'am.
Same with Shimi.
Ma'am,
Ma'am, I have some connectivity problems. So if I switch
yes,
on my
ma'am,
video,
same here.
problem.
I
I'll
have to
get
log in
disconnected, ma'am.
Okay, draw
Yeah,
for
and we'll
NaCl.
miss so far.
Okay, draw for NaCl. That 4 steps should be there for electron dot structures of ionic compounds.
Done, ma'am?
Done?
Yes.
Okay.
Done, ma'am.
Yes. Draw for calcium oxide.
2 minutes. And 2
Calcium,
minutes.
yes. All those who finish, you can draw for calcium oxide. These are the examples given in your textbook also. Calcium oxide. Calcium atomic number 20, oxygen atomic number 8. Calcium oxide.
Done, ma'am.
Good. What, Ayman, you're able to draw?
Done, ma'am.
Is Manas, are you able to draw?
Yes, ma'am, I'm drawing.
Samiksha, are you able to draw?
Ma'am, I have a doubt, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, like in MGCL,
MGCL2. Huh.
yes, ma'am. So, ma'am, why they given 2 times from MG, one here CL, one here CL, ma'am.
Ma'am, do
Sorry?
we have to rejoin?
Sorry?
Ma'am,
Yes? Kaushik, your voice is not clear.
ma'am, do we have to rejoin? It's 2 o'clock.
I'll let you know. Is Neo done?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am?
Yes. Yes, Shivam.
No, ma'am, one doubt was there. It got clear, ma'am. It's okay.
Got it?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, check your answers. See, it should be like this. The transfer of electrons you have to show. No need to write the protons and neutron number. See the calcium oxide. Calcium will lose 2 electrons. There will be transfer of 2 electrons to oxygen. So calcium will form, if 2 electrons it lose, it will get Ca2 plus ion. And oxygen, it gains 2 electrons because electronic configuration is 2 and 6. It required 2 more electrons. It will take from calcium. Calcium will form Ca plus 2 and oxygen will form O.
Ma'am, I wrote the proton and electron number.
It's
Yes, ma'am. Also.
yeah, good. Clearly, you have to show the transfer of valence electrons like this with arrow, as you have saw in MgCl2. You have to show this transfer of electrons. And then second step, the formation of these ions. See here they have represented Ca2 plus O minus 2. Here also Na plus. I think it's visible, right? The charge. And Cl minus. And then you have to write NaCl and CaO. Is it clear? Got it? Yes. Please draw for AlCl3, aluminum chloride. While giving you the compounds to draw, they will not give you the formula. I'm telling you the formula, right? But they doesn't give. They'll just say that write electron dot structure for aluminum chloride. So you should be thorough with their atomic numbers, electronic configuration, and how many electrons they lose and they gain. Aluminum chloride. Ishwari, are you there? Ishwari? Yeah, Ishwar is absent. Arya, are you there? Arya? Done? Manas, are you able to draw?
Yes, ma'am.
Clear? Did you understand the concept of ionic bond? So let me just recap again. Ionic bond is formed between two oppositely charged ions, that is from metals which loses electrons and non-metals which gain electrons. Okay, so always between metal and a non-metal, ionic bond is formed. And we have also discussed the conditions. The metal should easily lose the electrons, and non-metal should has more tendency to gain electron. It should has more affinity to gain electron. And ionic bond, yes?
And could you show the answer for aluminum chloride?
No, it's not there. What did you get? What is the formula of aluminum chloride you got?
AlCl3.
One aluminum gives one electron to each chlorine, right? 3 chlorines you have to draw there.
Ma'am, but while saying the formula, you said AlCl2.
AlCl3, not 2.
No, I did it for 3. You said 2.
AlCl2 I told.
Yes, ma'am.
It's AlCl3.
Yes.
Ma'am, I'm not getting aluminum.
Aluminum, what is electronic configuration? 283.
Aluminum electronic. Ma'am.
283. In the last shell, valence shell, you will be having 3 electrons.
Yes, ma'am.
Each electron will be transferred to one chlorine atom.
Yes, ma'am.
Got it? So, this ionic bond is represented by electron dot structures. Now coming to the next bond, which is called as covalent bond. I'll just end with the, yes.
While showing the arrow.
Yes. While showing the arrow. What, Toshit? What's your doubt?
My doubt is that do we have to show the chloride 3 times?
Yes, you have to show chlorine 3 times in the first step. 3 chlorine atoms you have to show. Yes, next coming to covalent bond. Covalent bond is formed by mutual sharing of electrons. Now, for example, if 2 oxygen atoms are there, both the atoms tend to gain electrons, right? It's not that one atom has to lose, another atom has to gain. Mostly when 2 non-metals, I repeat, when 2 non-metals come together to combine, as both the atoms require to gain electrons, both the atoms tend to gain electrons. That time, they will share the electrons. One electron will be shared by both the atoms. So that mutual sharing of electrons, that means each atom tends to complete its octet by sharing the electrons of adjacent atom. Okay, so the bond which is formed by mutual sharing of electrons is called as covalent bond. Now, when there are two atoms, equal number of electrons will be shared. That means atom A, suppose it is sharing one electron of B, B also will share one electron. It is not that one is taking two and another is sharing one. Equal number of electrons will be shared. And always valence electrons are involved in sharing. Clear? So as I told you, generally this covalent bond is formed between two non-metals, and you have to consider here number of electron pairs. For example, atom E is giving one electron and B is giving one electron. How many pair of electrons? There is one pair of electrons. So then each pair of electron will form one bond. I repeat, one pair of electrons will result in the formation of one bond, which is called as one covalent bond. Okay, that number of electron pairs the atom shares, it is called as covalency. For example, if two pair of electrons are formed, okay, then we will say it is a double covalent bond. Clear? So each bond is formed by sharing one pair of electrons. And as I told you, ionic bond formation is represented by electron dot structures, whereas this covalent bond formation is also represented by electron dot structures, but given by the scientist Lewis. So we'll call them as Lewis dot structures. Okay, so how to draw these Lewis dot structures, that we'll discuss in the next class. Clear? So did you understand what is covalent bond? The bond formed by mutual sharing of electrons. Got it? Any doubt?
No.
No, ma'am.
Did you all understand?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay then. We'll just discuss it in the next class. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Bye.